This gnome is here. Today I wanted to talk about Gravity Falls. Maybe I should stop saying tongue twisters in the beginning of my videos, who knows. Today I wanted to talk about the Gravity Falls episode, Carpet Diem. It's zany and wacky and fun and heartwarming. All the best features of Gravity Falls and probably the best features of most shows. If you haven't seen Gravity Falls, you need to know a few of the characters. So we have Dipper Pines and Mabel Pines. They're twins staying at their great Uncle Stan's house in Gravity Falls, Oregon for the summer. And Stan owns this store called the Mystery Shack, which is a tourist trap where he collects fake oddities and charges people money to see them. Like a roadside attraction. It turns out that there are real oddities in the town of Gravity Falls that Dipper and Mabel discover. That's the premise of the show. Seuss is an employee of the store, and then Mabel has two friends, Candy and Grenda. There's other characters in this, but they're minor, so you could probably figure out from context clues who they are. So this episode is about Mabel and Dipper share a room for the summer, and they are getting on each other's nerves a lot. Mabel keeps having sleepovers, and Dipper finds them loud and obnoxious. They're a little too rowdy. They're a little too filled with romance novels and stuff. He's just not interested in it. Mabel is really annoyed because Dipper reads too loud.
Oh, interesting. But who stole the capers?
That's how I read. That's how I watch TV too. It's so funny. So they're in a big squabble because they are getting on each other's nerves with the hobbies and stuff that they want to do to enjoy their summer. And then Seuss finds this back room that's empty. It just has this huge carpet in the room. And it says experiment number on a tag on it. Dipper and Mabel really want the room for themselves, and Grunkle Stan has them fight over it. So they're trying to kiss up to Grunkle Stan to get this room. So that goes on for a while. But then they go in the room, they're fighting over it. They're fighting over the key to the room, and they get some static on the rug, and it causes them to switch bodies. It's a body swap episode, folks. Body swap episode. Meow, 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 meow. Those are the best. I love them. They're the best. Second to beach episodes. No, I don't know. I think body swap episodes are top beach episodes for sure. For sure. So anyway, it's a body swap episode. So now they're in each other's bodies. So now they're trying to sabotage the other person from getting the room. So it's being really insulting. Mabel, when she was in her own body, she was kissing up to Grunkle Stan. But to try to get Dipper to not get the room when she is in Dipper's body, she is insulting him. But Grunkle Stan thinks it's nice that Dipper's finally standing up for himself. So it kind of backfires on her. So it's a bunch of comedic things about, what works for some doesn't work for others and things like that. Dipper and Mabel are in a bit of a fight, and so they're getting back at each other. They're trying to get the room. They're trying to get the key back. Dipper hates these sleepovers. Candy and Grenda are coming over for a sleepover that night, and since Dipper is in Mabel's body, he has to be trapped in the room with them. And Mabel's all disappointed, and she's watching through the keyhole as Dipper. And Grunkle Stan sees this, and he's like, oh, you're at that creepy age where you spy on girls. So then he takes him aside and explains puberty and the birds and the bees to him, her, Mabel, and Dipper's body. It's just, not going super well for either of them. Dipper, as Mabel, gets this idea to leave the sleepover by saying that Mabel should get a makeover, and Mabel is herself, and she's like, hooray, yeah, I would love to. And then wait a second, because then she doesn't have the key anymore. Dipper tricked her into getting the key back. They chase each other all the way to the new mystery room with the rug, and then everybody has switched bodies. And then the cops are involved, and Seuss is there, and Mabel has this pet pig that also gets swapped with Seuss and all kinds of things. They finally get all their bodies back, but all of this body swapping has made them way more empathetic to each other. Mabel is saying oh, I bet you feel really sweaty and awkward. And he's like, yeah, I do. they get to see the world from each other's perspectives through that. And she's like, well, you can have the room. So then they each have their separate rooms. They learn, like, oh yeah, I have been kind of overwhelming by having my friends over. I have been kind of annoying doing blah, blah, blah. They come to this agreement and they willingly split rooms, like, nicely. But then they realize, like, it kind of sucks to not share the room, because even though there's, like, annoying stuff, there's also really fun stuff. Like, they get to play mini golf together, and they get to, like, tell jokes for a long time or tell stories, and so they miss that, and they end up agreeing to just continue to share a room together, and they give Seuss the room as a break room, because Seuss's break room is just a closet with a furnace in it that's always burning him because he has to, like, maneuver around it. So they're like, Seuss can have the room, we'll figure out how to share the room. It's very sweet. Gravity Falls is such a fun show. It really got me into ciphers for a while. I used to try to talk to my friends in Morse code, like typed out, because I don't have that kind of rhythm. But that never really went anywhere because I barely learned Morse code. And people were like, I don't know Morse code. And I was like, what about Google Translate? But of course, that, you know, people preferred English to Morse code now that we can text each other instead of telegramming each other. But hey, it's a fun novelty. Morse code's fun. Ciphers are fun. Gravity Falls always had a secret message at the end. You know, like you got to learn like a cipher, and they put clues throughout the episodes of how the cipher is shifting, like how they had bug bites that were supposed to spell beware, but they spelled bewarb, and so that told you how to do the new cipher, like the switching of the E and the B. Anyway, it was super fun. I feel like Gravity Falls should have done more with that, though, because they had those secret messages at the end of every episode, and most of the time they were just kind of like fun things, like fun little Easter eggs or references to the episode or something like that. It was just fun to learn the cipher more than a clue to anything, because a lot of the episodes were one-off episodes, and then near the end they started doing clues, but they were extremely vague clues, like beware of whomever, you know. And that was cool. It made you excited to know what the end was going to be, but it didn't lead anywhere. And so it would have been fun to like have a new context with those ciphers, like figuring out things in the background or something. Or if in the end all of the quirky things came back in some way, like they had to use the body swap for something, or they had to use the copy machine for something, or, you know, I think that'd be so fun. They used a couple things like the forgetting gun. I don't know what it's called. That little forgetting ray. They used that and a couple other things, but that was about it. And I felt like that could have been wrapped up way cooler, because it did make you so excited for ciphers, and it made you look in the background of shots, and that's its own gift. But I felt like it could have been a bigger gift, especially because they only wanted to do 2 seasons and end it, which is fine and commendable, because some shows go on way too long and don't know what they're doing, and then you have to wait 5 seasons for it to get anywhere again. And I didn't want that for the show either. They gave you some breadcrumbs, but I wanted a loaf. I wanted a loaf. Where's the loaf? I didn't think I'd get so heated about that. Anyway, Gravity Falls is great. If you haven't seen it, go see it. If it inspires you to do a summerween party, like a Halloween party in summer, or any kind of Gravity Falls themed parties, I'm with you. I've felt that way every year since I've watched the show. I have never done it. I've planned them. I have told people them. I have never done it. So if you can do it, and you follow through, I commend you so much. Live your life. Dream big. That's what I have to say. Follow through on things. You know? It's kind of like the whole vibe I kind of feel from Gravity Falls It's kind of like that, where great ideas, and then no follow through, no summer wind party, no Gravity Falls party. Where is it? Where is it? Me and them, you know? It also made me watch Twin Peaks. I was told Twin Peaks is like Gravity Falls, and it is not. It is not. It's its own thing, almost completely. There's pine trees, and it's in like the Pacific Northwest, and that's it. I don't know where I was going with that, but I think that Gravity Falls, I mean, all in all, Gravity Falls was super inspiring for a lot of things. It made me, you know, get this hat. It made me learn ciphers and Morse code. It made me inspired to get friends and have parties and all kinds of stuff. I love it. It's so cute. It's so cute. It's so fun. The backgrounds are beautiful. I love the fun little quirky things you meet. I love the gnomes and the unicorns and the video games. It's like magical and fun, and the animation's cute too. I'm probably going to be talking about Gravity Falls again. But that's all for now. Thank you so much for watching. This was fun. I had fun. I hope you did too. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye. Oh, by the way, here's the gnome again. Da-da-da-da. I left up the disco balls because I was going to talk about the party episode, but I didn't end up doing that because I didn't feel inspired to. But if you were wondering why those are still there, I'm not just lazy. I might be. I might be. That's all right, though. All right. All right. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye. For real this time. And Candy and Grenda are coming over to get a sleepover.